Imagine waking up one morning and the Earth feels off. Compasses stop pointing north, birds fly in strange directions, and animals act anxious. Then scientists announce something terrifying. Earth's core has stopped spinning. Sounds like science fiction? Think again. This could be one of the most catastrophic events in our planet's history, and today we're going to dive deep, literally and figuratively, into what happens if Earth's core suddenly just stops. The Earth is like a giant onion made up of layers. We live on the crust, then there's the mantle beneath, and at the very center, two powerful layers, the outer core and the inner core. The outer core is a molten sea of iron and nickel, swirling around the solid inner core, and this motion generates Earth's magnetic field, the invisible force that protects our planet from deadly solar radiation. But what if that motion suddenly froze? What if the core just stopped spinning altogether? This isn't just a theoretical problem. It would trigger a planet-wide disaster, unlike anything humanity has ever experienced. Let's understand what the Earth's core does. Roughly 3,000 kilometers beneath your feet, the outer core is a turbulent, liquid metal ocean. Its motion acts like a giant dynamo, generating a powerful magnetic field that stretches far into space. This field protects our planet from the solar wind, a stream of charged particles constantly emitted by the sun. The solid inner core spins slightly faster than the rest of the Earth, and its movement influences seismic activity and magnetic behavior. So, what if this movement grinds to a halt? First, Earth's magnetic field would begin to weaken rapidly. Without the spinning of the outer core, the dynamo shuts down, and that's when the real chaos begins. The first major consequence? The collapse of the magnetic field. Satellites would be fried within days as they become exposed to solar and cosmic radiation. GPS would fail, communication systems could go dark. Navigation, weather forecasting, and even global banking systems all rely on satellites. Then, solar radiation would begin to bombard the planet. We'd see spectacular auroras, northern lights stretching across the globe. But this beauty comes with a deadly cost. With no magnetic shield, cancer rates would spike due to increased radiation exposure. Flights at high altitudes would become dangerous, and electrical grids around the world could short-circuit from solar storms. Birds, whales, and countless animals use Earth's magnetic field for migration and orientation. Without it, they'd become lost, confused, or die. Entire ecosystems would collapse from the base up. Humanity, too, would suffer. Digital compasses, deep-sea navigation systems, and mining operations would all be affected. But even worse, Earth's core movement helps regulate tectonic stability. A still core could mean more frequent earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and plate instability. The Ring of Fire? Supercharged. You might be wondering, how does the core influence the climate? Indirectly, but significantly. Without a spinning core, the balance of energy within the planet shifts. Heat buildup in the mantle could accelerate, causing volcanic eruptions on a global scale. This would send massive ash clouds into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and leading to what scientists call a volcanic winter. Temperatures would plummet, agriculture would fail, and food supplies would dwindle. Human society? On the brink of collapse. Not from a war or a pandemic, but from the silent death of the planet's beating heart. Interestingly, Earth's magnetic field has flipped many times in its history. North becomes south, and vice versa. But it usually happens over thousands of years. If the core stopped spinning, we wouldn't get a slow flip. We'd get instantaneous failure. And while a field reversal is survivable, a total field collapse is not. We'd be living on a naked planet, exposed to space. Assuming we survive the initial chaos, life without a spinning core is primitive. Radiation shelters would be mandatory in every city. Agriculture would have to move underground or into shielded domes. Computers, planes, and even refrigerators rely on magnetic principles. Technology would regress, especially without satellites or reliable electricity. New forms of navigation would have to be invented. Commerce would revert to physical systems.
Governments might fall, replaced by localized rule.
In short, modern civilization wouldn't adapt. It would be erased and replaced with something far less advanced. But here's a twist that scientists are only beginning to understand. If the core's movement affects Earth's rotation, then stopping it might also slow down the planet's spin. Longer days, longer nights. This means drastic temperature swings. Imagine boiling hot days and freezing nights. Every 24-hour period becomes a battle between fire and ice. Sleep cycles, plant growth, weather systems, all would be thrown into turmoil.
If that wasn't enough, Earth's orbit might also subtly change due to imbalance in mass distribution.
A wobble in our axis could eventually cause climate zones to shift entirely. So, could this actually happen? The good news?
Not likely.
Earth's core is driven by thermal and gravitational energy. It's like a natural engine with no off switch. However, recent studies have shown that the inner core's spin rate has been slowing down, even reversing relative to the mantle. Some scientists believe this is part of a natural cycle, but others warn that we're only beginning to understand these inner dynamics. It's unlikely that the core will fully stop, but if it did, we might never see it coming until it's too late.
Let's say we prepare, build shielded infrastructure, launch radiation-hardened satellites. Could humanity survive the collapse of the magnetic field and core rotation?
Maybe, but it would require a new global order, one where science leads and innovation becomes our only hope. A civilization of underground cities, space-based observatories, and new navigation technologies could emerge. We might even begin to rely on space travel more, escaping Earth when the surface becomes uninhabitable.
So next time you use a compass, or see the northern lights, or fly across the globe, remember,
all of it is only possible because of a churning sea of molten metal 3,000 kilometers beneath your feet.
we live on a fragile shell, balanced on a cosmic machine that we barely understand.
And if that machine stops spinning, we don't just lose power or Wi-Fi, we lose the world we know.
Thanks for watching Infinite If, where we explore the most fascinating what-if questions that science can offer.
Hit that like button if this blew your mind, subscribe for more epic science journeys, and let us know in the comments. What if should we explore next?